Welcome to our Language Cert Young Learners ESOL exams. Language Cert Young Learners ESOL is a set of 2 English language qualifications or introductory levels, FOX at pre-A1 level and OWL at A1 level. Let's look at OWL. OWL was specifically created for younger candidates from 7 to approximately 12 years of age. OWL aims to motivate learners to improve their English skills, encourage them, and at the same time measure their level even at this very early stage of language acquisition. It presents candidates with age-appropriate topics, and all sections of the exam include colorful illustrations. Assessment during the spoken exam is through brief role-playing and short conversations. Candidates take 2 exams, written and spoken, and are awarded 2 separate certificates. All 4 language skills, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, are covered. OWL is a child-friendly exam consisting of fun tasks, which aims to help young learners progressively become familiar with the formal examination process. Exams are on demand and can be taken at any Language Cert approved test center. Exam sessions can be ordered in 2 to 10 business days. The exam is delivered in paper-based format. To help you prepare candidates, free examination preparation material is available and downloadable from our website. You will find practice papers, a vocabulary list, a grammar syllabus, assessment guidelines, and a mark sheet for speaking practice marking. OWL is also a great way to reward achievement, as every candidate receives a certificate. The certificate, which is child-friendly, shows a number of owls which indicate the candidate's performance in the skills tested. The certificate is co-branded. The name of the test center appears at the top of the certificate along with the Language Cert logo. The written exam consists of 3 components: listening, reading, and writing. The listening component of OWL consists of 4 tasks, all heard twice. There are 20 items in total, and in terms of question types, candidates are required to answer multiple-choice questions with 3 options provided each time, matching questions and gap-filling questions. Part 1 consists of 5 multiple-choice items and asks the candidate to look at the pictures provided and tick the one referred to each time. The candidate will find an example. Part 2 asks the candidate to listen to 5 statements and draw a line to match a visual with a name. An extra distractor has been provided, so there will be 6 visuals to choose from to match with the 5 names given. There is an example for the candidate. Part 3 asks the candidate to listen to 5 statements and tick the related visual. 3 options are provided each time. There is an example provided for the candidate. Part 4 asks the candidate to listen to a short text and fill in 5 gaps using very short responses. Part 4 concludes the listening section of the exam. The overall duration of the listening component is 15 minutes. The reading component of OWL has 4 tasks and a total of 25 items. Candidates are asked to answer multiple-choice questions, each providing 3 options, tick or cross questions, and gap-filling questions with and without given words. Part 1 asks candidates to look at the picture and say whether they agree or disagree with 6 statements about it using yes or no. 2 examples are provided. Part 2 requires candidates to read a short text and fill in 5 gaps in it with one of the 3 options offered each time. Candidates are provided with an example. Part 3 asks candidates to read a short text and fill in 6 gaps by choosing from 8 words provided in a list. 2 words are distractors and will not be used. There is an example for candidates too. Part 4 asks the candidate to read a short story divided into 3 parts and answer 2 or 3 open-ended questions about each part with 1-word answers. There is an example provided for candidates.
The writing component of OWL consists of 2 parts. Part 1 requires candidates to write 4 sentences about a given topic. Part 2 asks them to look at 3 related pictures which tell a short story and to write 2 sentences about each. Part 1 might ask candidates to write 4 sentences about their classroom. An example is always provided to guide them. Part 2 might ask candidates to write a task similar to this one. That is, look at these 3 related pictures which tell a short story about a child doing something in his garden and write 2 sentences about each picture. For all parts of the listening and reading section of their exam, candidates will be collecting 1 mark per correct response. For the listening section, up to 20 marks, and for the reading section, up to 25 marks. In writing tasks, candidates are awarded 1 mark per correct sentence, provided the sentences are accurate and relevant. They collect up to 10 marks for both writing tasks. However, for each minor mistake, in terms of punctuation or spelling, half a mark will be subtracted, and no mark will be awarded if a sentence is incomplete or irrelevant. Depending on how well they do in their exam, candidates are awarded a number of owls for each exam component, and up to 4 owls per skill. Let's move on to the OWL speaking exam now. The speaking exam consists of 4 parts and it lasts for approximately 7 minutes. The interview takes place between the candidate and the interlocutor, and the interlocutor also assesses the candidate's performance. 4 criteria are used to assess the candidate: task fulfillment, accuracy and range of grammar, accuracy and range of vocabulary, as well as fluency and pronunciation. Candidates are awarded up to 4 marks per criterion and collect up to 16 marks. Part 1, which lasts for approximately 1 minute, requires candidates to answer 4 questions about themselves. Part 2 lasts for about 2 minutes and asks candidates to look at a picture card with 12 objects. The card covers 3 different categories, such as animals, household items, or things you can see in a bathroom. The candidates are then required to identify items from the same category, as well as give their names. Part 3 lasts for about 2 minutes and presents candidates with 2 similar but not identical pictures, and asks them to spot obvious differences between them. Candidates are given an example. Finally, part 4, which lasts for about 2 minutes, requires candidates to look at a scene card where some kind of action is taking place and describe it. The interlocutor also asks a few more questions to extend the candidate's response. Here's an example of questions that may be asked during part 1. Candidates may initially be asked questions about themselves, such as about their name, age, where they learn English, and what their favourite sport is. If they can't answer some of these questions on the left, the interlocutor will use backup questions on the right to elicit some language from them. This is an example of a task from part 2. The candidates look at the picture card with its 12 objects which cover 3 different categories. Here, the selected category relates to things you can see in a bathroom. Apart from being required to identify items from the same category, candidates will also be required to give the names of those objects. And here is the task along with the questions that may be asked, such as, which picture shows something we can see in a bathroom? Or questions about what a particular object shown is, for example, a toothbrush, a towel, a shower, or a mirror. On the right, you can see the backup questions the interlocutor may use. Here is another example of a task from part 2. The topic is things you can see on a street. Here, candidates may be asked questions like, which picture shows something you can see on a street? Or questions about what a particular object shown is, for instance, a motorbike, a bus stop, a lorry, or a helmet. On the right, you can see the backup questions the interlocutor may use. Here's an example from part 3, which presents candidates with 2 similar but not identical pictures. Candidates are required to spot the obvious differences between them. After providing an example of a difference between the 2 pictures, the interlocutor will ask candidates, what other different things can you see? In this slide, you can see the list of differences between the 2 pictures and examples of backup questions the interlocutor may use. This is an example of part 4. This task asks candidates to look at a scene card with some kind of action in a garden and describe it. For instance, refer to what kind of day it is, what the woman in the picture is doing, what the children are wearing, or what the dog is doing there. Here you can see the possible responses and once more the backup questions the interlocutor may use. When marking the speaking exam, as previously mentioned, 4 criteria are used. Task fulfillment, which relates to the extent to which the response addresses the task in a direct manner and provides a relevant and meaningful answer. Accuracy and range of grammar, which assesses the degree to which the response is grammatically accurate, appropriate, and adequate. Accuracy and range of vocabulary, which evaluates the extent to which the response is lexically accurate, appropriate, and adequate. And finally, pronunciation and fluency, which assesses the degree to which the responses are intelligible with appropriate pausing and intonation. For all 4 parts of the speaking section, candidates collect up to 4 marks per criterion, and can achieve as many as 16 marks in all. Also on our website, you will find information on publishers producing related exam preparation materials, upcoming webinars and seminars, tailor-made for our approved test centres, and also information on how to contact us for further support from our academic support team. Here's where you can contact us for more information and support material.